Hi, I'm Ashley Rimmer. I teach English 10 at Ashbrook High School in Gastonia, North Carolina. For North Carolina students, English 10 is a world literature course. I know other schools maybe have a different breakdown, but we focus on literature from all over the world with the exception of America and Western Europe, since they get that in other grade levels. For me, that is fantastic because I get the opportunity to let students experience all different types of cultures. But what I've noticed again and again and again throughout different semesters and all levels of students is that students, by and large, do not have the ability that I feel they should have to just think for themselves. And so a humongous focus of my class has become a shift from trying to teach students what to think. I'm moving towards teaching students how to think. Because I think in the world that current students are growing up in, we have this issue where they're spoon-fed so many things. They get participation trophies when they either are the best on the team or don't even try on the team. They just show up and, pick flowers in the middle of the field. And so then they realize I don't have to try, and somehow I think that has transformed into I don't have to think, because if I pretend that I can't do it, then someone's going to do it for me. And it's really scary for me to think about that, because the world that we are living in today, we see over and over there's an over-reliance on technology. If you go to Best Buy, you're going to see now you can put a pacifier in a baby's mouth that will check its temperature and send something to your cell phone that will tell you some possible list of medical conditions if there's a problem with the infant. But if any of that technology fails, what's the mom going to do if she's never been taught the skills to problem solve? And so I want to take my students and get them thinking, because that's a start. Critical thinking can come after the thinking part. We have parents, you hear helicopter parents. I feel like lawnmower parents are a bigger problem because they're the ones who paved the way. And so a lot of the focus on everything we do in my class is you have to think about it. You have to work through it. We do that through collaboration and group work. I pose questions that don't necessarily have an answer, like the philosophical questions. And then the discussion is what I'm most interested in, because then you can actually see the thought process developing. I have students come to me all the time and they're like, Mr. Mayor, I can't do this. This is too hard. And I'm like, it's too hard. And they're like, yeah, this is hard. And I'm like, well, are you thinking? And they're like, yes, I'm really having to think about this. And my answer is always, you're welcome. And then I just move on to the next one. I see the problem too. I teach all levels of students. So in standard classes, I tend to see students who feel like what they think maybe doesn't matter or it's not right, and they're afraid to vocalize it. And so part of my approach for them is getting them to understand and see that if they just start thinking, that they actually have a lot of insight that they can bring to the table. And I think it's really important for students to know that what they have to say is valuable and to believe in themselves. And then I see, especially in upper students, like top AP students, they want to tell me what they think I want to hear. And I don't want them to give me what they think I want to hear. And I don't want to, I always tell them, I don't want to know what you think I want you to think. I want to know what you think. And so everything I do in my class has now become this huge focus on students need to think for themselves. When they go into the job force, they're going to have problem-solving skills. And we're hearing it now, like employers are saying, we need students who can think critically and have natural curiosity and can problem solve. And all of those skills come right back to thinking. If you're curious, you're thinking about something. If you're solving a problem, you're thinking about the solutions. If you have, of course, critical thinking ability, you're obviously thinking to do that. So I think if we can incorporate this sense of inquiry within our students and get students to think on their own, what the result is going to be is a much more balanced future for all of the students we have now and the students coming up. The students who are just now entering the workforce are really starting to struggle because they can't get there in a work environment and fit in, because they don't know how to figure things out on their own. They've never just had to learn through the process, and then employers are becoming frustrated, and it's leading to an entire situation. It's systemic. And so I think we need to definitely foster more thinking skills among our students and giving them chances to just try new things and tinker around with things. And I think productive struggle is very, very important to make you think, because you should question what you're doing all the time, through everything. So for me, the focus in my class has always been getting students to think better, more on their own, and work together and build on those different ideas and relationships.